You know, people don't do something over and over and over and over again unless they eventually get some kind of pleasure out of it. You know, we may not like our jobs, but we do like having money to be able to survive, right? That is the joy we get from that. But for Carrie Lake, she this week lost yet another appeal to the Arizona Supreme Court. So that makes twice in 1 month she has lost appeals that she sent to the Arizona Supreme Court after losing several other court cases and, of course, after ultimately losing the 2022 Arizona gubernatorial race. So if you were to ask me, I have to say at this point, Carrie Lake almost seems like she's enjoying losing all the time. Maybe she's addicted to losing. I don't know. But there's got to be something that she's getting out of this in order to keep humiliating herself and her legal team, which could be facing sanctions, you know, because you keep doing it and you keep getting the same result. And I know a lot of people right now are probably thinking, well, of course she enjoys it because it keeps her name out there. It keeps her on TV. And it did for a while. But even that has started to dry up. Carrie Lake is no longer getting the primetime interviews on Fox News. She's getting the Steve Bannon podcast. She's getting other right-wing outlets that love talking to her, but really don't have the kind of reach that cable news would offer her. They've moved on. Carrie Lake is a serial loser now in their minds, much like Donald Trump, and they've got more important things to cover, like Xboxes and M&Ms not being sexy enough. And yes, those are both two things that Fox News ranted and raved about all of this past week. But Carrie Lake wasn't one of them. They don't care anymore. So why does she continue to lose the 2022 gubernatorial race over and over and over? And as I said, you know, the lawyers have already been threatened with sanctions. She has been sanctioned. Bad things are now happening because you will not drop this, Carrie. You're not getting the attention that you want. You're not getting those big offers, as far as we know, to go join a cable news conservative channel lineup. So what's the point? Do you think maybe that next appeal is going to be the one that pushes you over the edge? Because you know you're not going to win. And that is essentially what the Supreme Court has now told her, again, twice in the last month, most recently about 4 days ago. They said, there's no reason for this. The lower court already determined that there was no malfeasance in the 2022 election in Arizona. You lost fair and square. We also had the reports out this week showing that Carrie Lake actually turned off Republican voters who then switched and voted to Democrats. Thousands and thousands of them in Arizona said, I'd rather vote for a Democrat, even though I'm a Republican, than vote for Carrie Lake, and that is why she lost. It's not because of a big grand conspiracy. It's not the misprinted ballots that she's whining about. And by the way, those studies I just mentioned, those are going to come back to bite her in court, because believe it or not, she still has one appeal pending, because she wanted to go from the local court all the way to the Supreme Court and bypass the appellate court in the middle. And that's why they keep smacking her down. And they're like, listen, the appellate court's going to deal with this. Like, please stop bothering us and just let the process play out. They're going to handle it in due time. They're not going to just sit on this for months and months. You're going to get your day in court. But you've also already had your day in court, and you failed to prove anything that you were claiming. So yeah, she'll get the court date, but it's not going to change anything that's happened, and it sure as hell isn't going to increase her popularity in the Republican Party. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena, and Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.